All the numbers that you have learned so far are called real numbers. Today we're going to look at all the different types of real numbers that you've been learning about, and we're going to see if we can put them into groups depending on things that they have in common. To get started with this idea, we're going to look at this graphic organizer that we have on the screen. This is one way that we can organize groups of information together. Looking at the terms down here at the bottom, let's see if you can put them in their corresponding boxes, A, B, C, D, E. Think about what would be inside of the other. Maybe start with the smallest group and you work your way out to the largest group. Hit pause and then hit play when you are ready. All right, so as you look at these terms at the bottom, the smallest group is probably Mrs. Schoenbaum's classroom. So one teacher's classroom would be the smallest out of all the things down here at the bottom. Now, Mrs. Schoenbaum's classroom is inside of the 8th grade, and the 8th grade is inside of the middle school, and the middle school is just a part of the Mannheim Central School District. Now, Ephrata School District has nothing to do with any of those things, so it's going to be just off by itself over here. We can take this same idea of using this graphic organizer to help us categorize all the different types of numbers that you have learned about. Think about what you've learned. You've learned about regular numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have zeros and negatives. You've learned about fractions, decimals, square roots, cube roots. We've got a lot of different types of numbers. So let's dig into this deeper to see how we can classify all those numbers and put them into groups. Take some notes, please, and follow along as we learn about the different groups of numbers. The first type of numbers that we're going to learn about are called natural numbers. When you were little and somebody said, let's count, it was natural for you to start counting by starting with the number 1. And so, the natural numbers are all the positive counting numbers on the number line starting with 1. They are numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, all the way to infinity. When you were little and your teachers asked you to count, you would just start with the number 1. Now, some examples of natural numbers would include all of those different types of numbers, but it may also be some numbers that look like these, because obviously it goes to infinity, so we have bigger numbers like 42 and 800. This particular number here, 50 over 2, it doesn't look like it would be a natural number because when you were little you never said 50 over 2. But this simplifies to the number 25, which may be a number that you may have used in your counting. So again, the very first numbers that you learned are called the natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. They're all the numbers starting with 1. They're your basic counting numbers. The next set of numbers that you learned about would be something called the whole numbers. And what they are basically is just all the natural numbers, but we include 0. So it's all the natural numbers and we add one extra number to that, 0. So when you were little and your teacher started teaching you things that were a little bit harder, they threw in the number 0 in that idea. So whole numbers are the counting numbers plus 0. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. The way I like to remember that the whole numbers are the natural numbers plus 0, think you have whole O, you have a 0 right in there, right there. Okay? Now, some examples that may not look like typical examples are these off to the side over here, because they all can be simplified into a whole number. The square root of 100 is 10. Obviously 0 is the first whole number, and this 4 plus square root of 4, the square root of 4 is 2, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So again, whole numbers are the natural counting numbers, plus we add in the number 0. Now, as you were getting older and things got a little bit more complicated in math class, you got into the idea of negatives. Integers are the set of whole numbers, so it's all of these numbers here, plus their opposites or their negatives. So integers are numbers like And I'm going to put dot, dot, dot because it goes forever in each direction. Like -5, -4, -3. Oops, sorry about my writing here. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay? I cannot list them all. I would be here forever. But integers are all the whole numbers plus their opposites or their negatives. Notice in this set, there still are no fractions and there still are no decimals. It's just your positive and negative whole numbers. Here are some examples that you could write down. Some may look like whole numbers and some may not just at first. You always want to simplify first before you determine what type of number you have. So for instance, -15/3 simplifies down to -5. That is an integer. The negative square root of 81 is -9, so that is an integer. So integers is where we start getting negatives. Natural numbers start with 1. Whole numbers are all your natural numbers plus 0, and integers are the negatives. Now, you've already learned the next two terms. Rational numbers are any number that can be written as a fraction. They include terminating decimals, repeating decimals, and square roots that are perfect squared, because all of those can be changed into fractions or ratios, and we had that in a previous lesson. Some examples of rational numbers are, here's a mixed number, 12 5/7. Here's a decimal that terminates, -6.8. Here I have just the number 5. That still is rational. I can make any whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. You could have had a repeating decimal in this list, 0.3 repeating, because we learned that is the same thing as 3/9 or 1/3. So rational numbers are any number that you could eventually change into a ratio or a fraction. Now if you think about everything so far, each of these different classifications of numbers is inside of the other one. If you think about a nesting doll, where you have one doll and you open up and there's another one, you open up and there's another one. The very smallest doll in the middle would be these natural numbers. Then the next doll that would go around that would be the whole numbers, because the whole numbers contain all the natural numbers, plus they add one extra number, 0. The next doll that would go around all of that would be integers, because integers contain all the natural numbers, that's these, all the whole numbers, because we got 0, and we add in their negatives. That's like what the new doll would represent. There's one more doll that could go around all these groups, and that is the group of rational numbers. So imagine that rational number, if it was a doll, around all of these, because the natural numbers, whole numbers, and integers all can be made into a fraction by putting them over 1. Okay, but rational numbers adds a few extra things. We've got our fractions, our terminating decimals, and our repeating decimals. So imagine a nesting doll. The biggest one on the outside is this set of rational numbers, and then all of these are one inside of the other. The last type of numbers that we're going to learn about are the irrational numbers. They are everything else, and they're their own separate doll off to the side if you're thinking about that nesting doll idea. Irrational numbers cannot be written as fractions. They are non-terminating decimals, which means they do not end, and they're non-repeating. They do not repeat. So an example would be pi, 3.1415. It keeps going forever and ever. It does not terminate, and it does not repeat. That group of numbers are called irrational numbers. They can never be written as a fraction. They could also include non-perfect squares like the square root of 10 or square root of 2 or square root of 3, any square root that you don't know. So that is how we classify numbers with all these different terms here. What I'd like you to do now is to think about this graphic organizer and see if you can put these terms right here that we learned about into this graphic organizer. Think about what would be the smallest set and then work your way out to the largest set that would include all the other ones inside of it. Hit pause and then hit play when you are ready. If your graphic organizer looks like mine, then you did a great job. The smallest set is the natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. They start with the number 1. The whole number includes all the natural numbers inside of it, but adds one extra number, and that is 0. The integers include both the whole and natural numbers plus their opposite, so they add in the negatives. And rational numbers include all of these things, integers, whole numbers, and natural numbers, but what they add are perfect squares that you can simplify. They add fractions, mixed numbers, terminating decimals, and repeating decimals. And finally, off by itself over here are the irrational numbers. They are everything that's left, the non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. One little trick that you can use to memorize this graphic organizer is by making up one of those mnemonic phrases to help you remember the order. And a student of mine last year was just kind of trying to randomly come up with a term that could help us remember it, or a phrase. And if you go from the inside out, he said there are no weirdos in Rhode Island. And that helped him to memorize the order. No weirdos in Rhode Island. So it's kind of silly, but it works. Things like that help us to memorize. Let's go ahead and practice. See if you could put these different values in where the orange boxes are, and see if you could put the different terms describing real numbers in the yellow boxes to get some practice at that. Remember, no weirdos in Rhode Island. Hit pause and then hit play when you are ready. All right, let's see how you did. So the first thing I'd like you to check is, did you put the classifications of numbers in the right spots? Natural, whole, integer, rational, irrational. The next thing you should have done is taken these values over here and put them in the corresponding box where they belong. A little trick is that some of these are not simplified all the way, and so you always want to simplify before you categorize. For instance, 16 over 4 here in the middle, that's the number 4. So that is a natural number and goes right here. 2 squared 64 means 2 times the square root of 64, or 2 times 8, and that is 16. So that also goes in the group of natural numbers, even though at first appearance it doesn't look like it. 0 always is going to go in the whole number area. The square root of 75, that's one that does not come out even. That's a non-perfect square, so that is irrational. And negative 15, because it is negative, that is an integer. So I hope you did okay with that. Let's go ahead and practice a few more. Let's finish this lesson by looking at a chart. I want to be able to check off all the different number classifications that would apply to each number on the left-hand side. Before you classify a number, though, you want to make sure that it is in simplest form. Look at all the numbers on the left. Are there any that we could simplify? If you said no, then you are right. These are all in simplest form. So let's start categorizing. So let's start with number 1, 5/8. Is that a natural number? When you were little, did you say 5/8 when you were counting when you were like 3 years old? No, you didn't do that. 5/8 is not a natural number. Natural numbers start with 1, and they're just your counting numbers. Whole numbers are those natural numbers plus 0, so it's not that. Integers are all those plus their negatives. It's not that. But 5/8, because it is a fraction, it can be made into a ratio, so it is a rational number. Now let's look at negative 7. Negative 7 is not a natural number. When you first started counting, you didn't say negatives. Natural numbers start with 1. Whole numbers start with 0. So again, it's no negatives yet. The negatives come into play when you have integers. So negative 7 is an integer. Integers are inside of the rational numbers. Think about that nesting doll idea. So if a number is an integer, it is also rational because it would be inside of that box. 3.14159. What do you think about that one? If you said that is irrational, then you are right. That is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. How about the number 10? Where would you see the number 10? If you said natural, then you are right. The number 10 would be in the innermost box because it is one of those counting numbers. Because the natural numbers are inside of the whole numbers, it is also a whole number, and they are inside of the integers, so it's also that, and they are inside the rational numbers, so it's that. So it's everything except for irrational, because the natural numbers are inside of all the other ones. Where would you see the number 0? If you said whole number, then you are right, and integer and rational. That is how we classify numbers.